Saint Peter, from denying Christ to leading the church. Imagine being chosen by the Son of God himself to be his closest follower, his friend, and his leader among the 12. Now imagine that in the most critical moment, when your teacher was being arrested, you denied even knowing him. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. That's the story of Simon Peter, the fisherman from Galilee. A man who went from fear and failure to becoming the rock on which Jesus built his church. So, how does a man go from cowardice to courage, from denial to leadership? Peter's journey might just hold the answer for every one of us who has ever fallen, failed, and wondered if God could still use us. Peter's name was originally Simon, a fisherman, ordinary, hard-working, imperfect. Jesus met him by the Sea of Galilee and said, "Follow me, and I will make you a fisher of men." From that moment, Peter left his nets behind and began a new life. He saw miracles up close, the blind receiving sight, the lame walking, even the dead being raised. He walked on water, if only for a few steps, before fear pulled him down. He witnessed Jesus transfigured in glory. And yet, in the courtyard of the high priest, fear conquered him again. When a servant girl said, "You were with him," Peter swore, "I don't know the man." 3 times he denied his Lord, and when the rooster crowed, Peter remembered Jesus' words and wept bitterly. This moment could have been the end of Peter's story, a man forever marked by betrayal. But Jesus saw beyond Peter's failure. After the resurrection, by the shore where they first met, Jesus asked Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" And each time Peter answered, "Yes, Lord, you know I love you." Then came the words that restored him, "Feed my sheep." Peter's past was not erased, but it was redeemed. His failure became the soil in which humility grew. His brokenness became the very place God's strength could shine. From that day forward, Peter was transformed. At Pentecost, filled with the Holy Spirit, he stood before the crowds and proclaimed the gospel with boldness. He healed the sick, led the early church, endured imprisonment, and never again denied his Lord. In the end, he sealed his testimony with his life. Martyred in Rome, crucified upside down because he felt unworthy to die in the same way as Jesus. Peter's story is not just history, it's hope. It tells us that God's call is not based on our perfection, but on His grace. It shows us that failure is not the final chapter unless we choose to stay down. Peter's greatest moment wasn't when he walked on water or preached to thousands. It was when he let Jesus lift him up after he had fallen. Maybe you too have denied Jesus in your own way, by staying silent when you should have spoken, by compromising your values, or by drifting away in times of trial. Maybe you feel disqualified, thinking, "God could never use me after what I've done." But Peter's life shouts a different truth. Your past mistakes don't disqualify you. God's mercy can transform them into your greatest testimony. If Peter, the one who denied Christ, could become the rock of the church, then imagine what God can do with your life. No matter how many times you've stumbled, the risen Christ is standing on the shore, calling out, "Do you love me?" Your yes can change everything. So today, take one step closer. Pray with honesty. "Lord, you know my failures, but you also know my heart. Use me for your glory." Let Him turn your shame into strength, your wounds into a witness. Remember, Peter was not great because he was flawless. He was great because he never stopped following Jesus, even after falling. And neither should you. The door to redemption is open. All you need to do is walk through it.